This afternoon on the show, talking about Philippine pride or Filipino pride in WWE, that is Joaquin Wilde. He is a star on WWE, on WrestleMania, but his journey hasn't been quite easy. A lot of rejection letters, a lot of injuries, and he talks about all that, and he talks about overcoming that with grit that he has learned from his single mom, a Filipina who came to America as a mail-order bride, ended up marrying a Frenchman living in Los Angeles, and after 5 years of marriage, ended up being a single mother to 3 kids. It has been a tough journey for her, and this is how Joaquin Wilde recalls that story. And you are now a Filipino in WrestleMania, in WWE. There's not many of them. There's one, Dave Bautista.
I mean, Bautista, I've always looked up to him, you know? He's got the Filipino flag tattooed on his arm right there. Like, that was something that stuck out to me and inspired me growing up watching wrestling.
Because you saw someone that was like you.
Absolutely,
yes.
Yeah. It was just cool to see somebody represent the Philippines, even if it was just a tattoo. You know, wrestlers, they come from all over the world. But when people think of professional wrestlers, they'll think of countries like Japan and Mexico. You don't necessarily think of the Philippines.
Right, you know right.
I feel like Bautista, he kind of like started cracking that door open, and I'm going to open it a little bit more. We got even female wrestlers like Shotzi. She's Filipino also. And we're just like creating this awareness, growing the Filipino community within the wrestling industry. And who knows, maybe one day we'll talk about the Philippines the same way we talk about Mexico or Japan.
Oh, I love that. That would be the day, right? Because Filipinos are also into contact sports.
Absolutely.
That's why we excel in it as well. Like Manny Pacquiao, hello, right?
Yes.
But let's face it, it's not the dream of Filipino parents to have their child
No.
in wrestling, right?
Yeah.
So how did you break it to your mom that you wanted to be a wrestler?
Oh, she didn't support this idea at all. It sounded a little sketchy to her, you know what I'm saying? But no, she came to the practice. She saw that I could do it. I could handle it. And she just kind of let me do my thing. But my mom, she was always kind of a free spirit too. And yeah, she kind of had a weird journey in her life as well. So I think she couldn't judge too much just because, like, her story is non-traditional as well.
Which is what I want to talk to next.
Okay.
Let's talk about your mom. We can't talk about Joaquin Wilde being Filipino without talking about being raised by a single mom who is Filipina, full of fire. Tell us about her.
She's from Pampanga.
Good cook?
Great cook. She came to America in her 30s.
Oh.
And that's just so crazy to me, because that would be like me right now.
Moving to a different place.
Just never seeing my family again and just moving across the world.
Well, that's what she did. So she didn't move with family, parents, siblings. No, she moved on her own.
Yeah, my mom, she left the Philippines for Singapore, and she lived in Singapore. She wanted to get out of there, though. Like, she was like making clothes in like a factory for like very little money, and her friends suggested that maybe she take some photos and sign up to be a mail order bride.
Right.
Which is actually pretty common. It happens a lot.
It does, right.
Yeah.
And so that was her path.
That was her path.
That's how she met your father?
My dad wrote her letters.
Who's not even Filipino. Your dad, but a Frenchman living in the U.S.
Living in Los Angeles.
Okay.
Yeah, right here,
And then, this is so interesting.
My mom got letters from all over the world, actually. Like, she had choices. She didn't have to marry my dad. But she liked the way that he wrote those romantic letters.
This was before the internet. So imagine like waiting for the actual snail mail.
Yeah, that's so crazy. I didn't even think about
that. And actually handwriting your response.
She flew here to Los Angeles to meet my dad.
Such guts.
I've told her that every day. I was like, you're the bravest.
Because what if like what if your dad was a serial killer or something, right? Yeah.
I've thought this.
Right.
I even asked her, I'm like, what was your plan if this wasn't going to work out?
If it didn't work out, yeah.
So she told me that she had enough money with her that she could get another plane ticket home. Yeah, and then she also said, weirdly enough, when she arrived in Los Angeles at the airport, she saw a Filipino couple, and they talked to her, and then she told them, like, yeah, I'm here, I'm going to marry this guy, whatever. And they gave my mom their phone number and address, and were like, if there's any problems.
That's how Filipinos are. I'm getting goosebumps because that's how Filipinos are, strangers. But if you know you're Filipino, you're already connected, right?
100%.
Yeah. And then thankfully for your mom and for you, that marriage worked out.
Yeah, it worked out for 5 years. My dad was much older than my mom, so he didn't have a lot of time left. But I guess the one thing he hadn't done was start a family. So he checked that off the bucket list.
And imagine her raising you guys on her own.
I can't imagine it. When my dad died, my mom was not an American citizen. She did not drive a car. She did not have a job. English was her third language at that point. And now she's in a foreign country, completely alone, no family, no friends, with 3 kids. My dad died a week after my sister turned 1. So...
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so she was in a really tough situation. And yeah, somehow she made it work.
What did you learn from seeing your mom raise you guys?
I just feel like if my mom can overcome all of that, then I can overcome anything that WWE, professional wrestling, whatever that has to offer, I can overcome it. Like just having my mom's strength as an inspiration.
And you have overcome a lot.
I guess so, yeah.
What more do you want to do? Where do you want to take this?
There's no plan. Like I'm not sitting here saying I'm going to work so hard that I become the WWE champion. Sure, I'd love that. But I just want to work my hardest and be the best version of myself that I possibly can be while I'm here at WWE. And let's just see how far it goes.
His future is bright. The sky's the limit. He's shown not just to me, but to the WWE Universe, his qualifications, not just as a leader, but as a representative of real, true lucha libre, which is, to me, one of the most beautiful expressions of sports and entertainment.
I love that you say that. It is really a beautiful mix of sports and entertainment.
Yes.
What's it like for someone like you to be one of the figures of WWE?
I'm proud
Yeah.
of that. I feel the responsibility. I know it's not easy, but I fancy myself as the best luchador in the world right now, in the universe, if you will.
Yes.
And that is not an easy responsibility to carry. The people around me must see themselves and fancy themselves the same way. Joaquin Wilde does that. Cruz del Toro does that. So together, we are the best of the best. And we represent la expresión más hermosa, the most beautiful expression
Yes.
of tradition, culture, heritage, familia, a way of living. Lucha Libre. It's not just the sport or the entertainment, it's culture. You see it everywhere, in every household, in every family. They know Lucha Libre, they respect Lucha Libre, and they uphold Lucha Libre. Joaquin Wilde does that. And that's why I will always be proud of leading him. And sometimes he will lead me.
Right. And the Filipinos, thank you for that too, for
love
taking
Filipinos.
care of, for giving him his opportunity.
He is Mexican. I am Filipino. Together,
Right.
we mix and we represent half of the world.
What do you want your fans to see in you?
I just want them to respect my work. First of all, I just want them to think that I was a good wrestler. More than anything, good wrestler, good performer, and someone that they respect, look up to, and can be inspired by.
Do you inspire yourself?
I guess I'm inspired by my journey to get here. I don't want to go back to the way it was
Right.
before WWE, and that's kind of my motivation to keep working hard and staying here at WWE as long as I possibly can.
What about fears? You guys are fearless. Is there anything that your persona fears? Or is there anything that you, as a person away from your WWE persona, fears?
My persona, like, he's kind of a wild card, hence the name Joaquin
Joaquin Wilde.
Yeah, definitely an impulsive kind of dude, a little reckless at times. Though I've calmed down a little bit after getting married and having a child.
Yes, a 2-year-old child. And I asked that because you're a parent now. Do you
Yeah.
not fear like any more injuries or whatnot? You look at your daughter, you know?
100%. Yeah, there were risks that I wouldn't have thought twice about taking a few years ago.
Right.
But now that I have the kid, like, it's in the back of my mind where I'm like, I don't want to get hurt. I don't want to be in a situation where I can't play with her, I can't take care of her, I can't help my wife
Or
raise her.
can't watch her grow,
You know what
right?
I'm
Yeah.
saying? So that's in my mind now as a parent. Like, I want to be like my mom in that sense. Like, always putting my kid first.
Right.
Even if it inconveniences my life has changed.
Life has changed, yeah, definitely. And
Yeah.
WrestleMania, WWE has changed her life as well. For the better.
Yes.
For the
100%.
better.
Yeah.
And what more do you want to accomplish?
I just want to stay here in WWE as long as I possibly can. I want to wrestle on WrestleMania next year. Like, we're going to be there this year, but next year I want to actually have a match at WrestleMania.
So we're gonna look out for you.
Yes.
For next year.
Yeah, we'll do this interview again next year.
Yes,
maybe.
yes.
Come to Philadelphia.
Maybe with your wife and your daughter. She'll
Let's
be
hope
3.
so.
She'll be cheering you on.
Yes. Hey, it's been a crazy journey. All of you that have been here with me since the days of Shima Zion, Zima Ion, DJ Z, and now Joaquin Wilde, thank you for sticking around. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for joining me on this crazy journey we've had in the wrestling business. The best is yet to come, I promise you. So stick around a little bit longer.
Love that.
Joaquin Wilde as smooth as they come. Unreal. Now he's on fire.
What does diet look like for a wrestler?
Yeah, so I eat 5 times a day. I'll get the lumpia, but the frozen one.
Right.
I'll get those. I'll get some bengos,
Right.
I love that.
Oh, I love bangus. Yeah.
Oh, we have Jollibee now in Orlando too.
Ooh,
the
yes.
first one just opened.
Right.
Yeah, I have a Jollibee tattoo.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
I also have a Filipino peso dollar.
Right.
sign.
Yes.
So, yeah.